It was pretty much a concept that was already established. Film was pretty it was pretty evolved by the 1920s. Um, but that doesn't mean there weren't several big changes that brought film into what it is today during the 1920s. I mean, they went through several changes, such as the start of sound in motion picture. That was pretty unheard of.
They thought they could make movies more realistic and entertaining if they added sound along with them. So in the theaters, they would play the movie and the sound at the same time, and the audience was just flabbergasted.
There might have been, several roadside shows before the 1920s. Just people, they were almost considered circus acts. They would just have a tent with a projector, and maybe it was a short film of a car breaking down, and they just add in some sounds, but they didn't really have synchronized sound.
My name is Mary Thompson, and I'm about to go see a movie called The Jazz Singer. It's an American film with sounds. I'm not really shocked that I'm one of the lucky ones seeing the film because I am fabulous. And so are you. This is the first movie to have synchronized film and audio ever in America.
Not many people actually know this, but before the 1920s, the hub of filming in the U.S. was actually Fort Lee, New Jersey, not Hollywood, California. And that's why in the 20s, there was a massive shift in the film industry. They decided to move to Hollywood because Fort Lee, New Jersey, it doesn't have all of the environments that were necessary for films. I mean, Hollywood's got it all. It's got deserts, oceans, just rural areas, cities. Hollywood really made up for everything, and Fort Lee just couldn't do that. So that's why the industry actually moved out west, and now Hollywood is basically the capital of filmmaking and has been since the 1920s.
In 1924, Marcus Leo took control of Metro Pictures, Goldwyn Pictures, and Louis B. Mayer Pictures, forming Metro Goldwyn Mayer, or MGM. In that time, MGM became one of the largest film companies of its era. It is one of the oldest film companies in the American film industry. On May 31st, 20th Century Fox was founded by Joseph M. Schenck and Darrell L. Zanuck. Paramount Pictures was founded in 1912 by Adolph Zucker, Jesse L. Lasky, W. W. Hodgkinson, and they were the first to win Academy Award for Best Picture in 1927.
Since all film in the 1920s was shot on mostly 16 millimeter film, it had an aspect ratio of 4:3, which is kind of uncommon. If you saw a film today versus back then, you'd note that the aspect ratio is a lot wider usually than it was back then, and that's due to the fact that cameras, they do only capture pretty much square images, and it wasn't until the late 1950s where anamorphic lenses were developed, where it would actually film a square image that was stretched vertically, or squeezed horizontally for that matter, and then stretched out horizontally when it was being projected, and that gives it the wide image. But before that, there really wasn't a way to get that wide of an image. So basically, it was just a square you were looking at.